remember we talked about the portal for the Affordable Care Act is going to be charged with the $20 you normally get charged. You also get the $25 charge for the portal. That starts today and goes every month. Beginning of the month is the exact same time. So just want to remind everybody, so somebody...
We're going to take it out with the MAX system.
With the MAX system, thank you. Also, I didn't write it down. Blue Cross Blue Shield, we have some Blue Cross Blue Shield clients in the MAX system. Good.
They're tagged BCBS space DIS. There's 274 that you guys already have in your system. We have another 796 that are currently not assigned to anybody. What we're going to do is we're going to take those 796, divide them by how many people are in the survey program, and distribute them out like that on Monday. We can't do areas because they're all over the place. So you're going to get 30, 35 of those Blue Cross Blue Shield disenrollments.
On top of
your normal surveys, yes, sir.
Yeah, so you definitely want to call them. There's no way of looking to see what kind of Blue Cross Blue Shield they have. If they just have some type of Blue Cross Blue Shield. Could be Medicare Advantage, could be supplements, it could be Federal Blue Cross. There's no way of pulling it out without individually pulling up every one of the 700 records, which is not happening.
But they've canceled their Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Nope.
Blue Cross Blue Shield Medicare Advantage will have already received a letter that as of 12/31/14, they will no longer have Blue Cross Blue Shield. It is not renewing in the state of South Carolina.
Okay.
So they pulled, there's 13,000 people in the state of South Carolina that have Blue Cross Blue Shield Medicare Advantage, and it is not being renewed. So anyone who has Blue Cross Blue Shield Medicare Advantage obviously needs to either pick a new plan for Medicare Advantage. Starting October 15th, they actually have a little bit longer date. It goes till February 28th. They got a little bit of special enrollment time in case they come to January and find out they don't have coverage, which you know will happen to somebody. It also gives them a special enrollment if you wish to get into a Medicare supplement. Because their plan is ending, and it's not of their fruition it's ending, if you want it, they have guaranteed issue into a Medicare supplement that is not a Plan G.
Guaranteed to win?
It is guaranteed issue. That's not Plan G. Plan F, Plan N, come on in, Scott. Don't sit there.
To win?
Yes. Well, you can. Just don't move. And if you fall, it's not my issue. Okay. It is guaranteed issue into a supplement. So if somebody wants a Plan F, wants a Plan N, somebody that is unhealthy, make sure you do know about that guaranteed issue. Because you don't have very often do you not have that. Also, the people that are in the survey program, the first drop of leads went out this week. Or this week, we got 8,000 names dropped. So I'm hoping to get a pretty good response on that. But I wanted to get them out as soon as possible so we can start getting them around the 15th, 20th of the month. So that'd be pretty good. I think that is it on announcements. Anything else, John?
The Low Country Sun, or the Somerville Senior Sun, a newspaper in Somerville, we have an ad in the back. I have some up here. If you would like one when you leave, go ahead and grab one, please. That's all I have.
Awesome. Alright, so we're going to have a bunch of handouts, so the best way I can do it is to just start passing around and grabbing them. I'm going to go over a lot of it, but I just kind of want to get them out to you first. Dave already did announcements. Do you have something else? Nope? Okay.
Take one down
All right,
and pass it around?
Yep.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and start with all these. The first thing we're going to have is the 2014 Medicare costs. A lot of people already have them. Just in case you don't and need a new one in there, I'm passing them around. That's the one you're probably already going to have. The other thing I'm passing around, and I've ordered 300 more of these, is it's a nice little brochure. One of the big things this year about the Medicare Advantage plans is the original Medicare is not going to be in the books. That is a change. There's this change at CMS. All the carriers do this year is, remember last year Humana, some of the other ones had all the benefits on the left-hand side. They had original Medicare in the middle, and the carrier's benefits on the right-hand side. They had to take out original Medicare's benefits in there. So this brochure coupled with your Medicare costs, you can go over with them about how original Medicare is covered. This also shows you the Medicare choices between original Medicare, Medicare supplements, and Medicare Advantage plans. So it's a nice little brochure. I've ordered 300 more of these, so we should have plenty coming in, so people can have a couple, so when you're going over with the client, if they want one, you can give it to them. As we need more, I'll make sure we get more ordered. I didn't bring my copy down, so it's fairly easy here. Somebody.
We only got 3 and the paper.
No, there's more.
It's got, go below over there. My picture would have.
Is it on the first table and that was it? Great. Maybe we should do this a separate way.
Hey Scott, Jerry had a good point.
I want a whole
Thing
lot.
is really like this.
Hey,
It's
Randy, here.
another brochure.
Let me grab one of those
Bigger
ones.
brochure that we have, and it's a whole page.
I ordered 100 of the whole page ones too.
Yeah.
Got a question on.
But that's just nice and easy to have and leave with the clients too.
And then HMO, I sat down with a client
Oh,
yesterday, reading the book, his annual changes book. It says in the book, they got a $200 deductible. It doesn't say on tier 4, it's just $200
It
deductible.
does. It's on tier 4.
It doesn't say it in the book,
In the books it will. All they got was an end knock with notice of change.
right?
In the actual books, so yeah, I don't know what the notice of change says. It could be a misprint. But it's a $200 deductible, and we'll go over the plans in a minute.
Only on tier 4.
On tier 4 and 5.
Okay.
Yes, not 1, 2, and 3. Again, we're gonna go over that. These are strictly out of their benefits books, off of their sites.
So this was that at his human book we got in the mail, that's why I was.
Must have been this print.
Everybody get one of these?
Did you get the email about the appointments and whatnot?
Yeah, but I dropped my phone in work. I gotta buy a new car and phone.
Is there one? I think
All right.
you are since you're buying too much stuff. You want
Does everybody have everything?
Everybody getting
They're
yeah.
behind each other.
Did you get the back? Did you get all this back?
No,
I didn't get one.
Oh, I didn't get that yet. I didn't get these are. I didn't get
Two.
that.
Okay.
No, I got it. I got it.
Those two.
The other thing that you're getting here is the donut hole. This is a good 2-page to have. Hopefully all these you're gonna put in your book.
That's 50 cents.
Okay, go. Alright. This is showing how the donut hole is planning on closing by the year 2020. Each year it's closing up. This year it's closing up a little bit from where it was last year. It shows you how it's going to do it in subsequent years. So people that take a lot of vacations are concerned about the donut hole. There's one on generic drugs and one on preferred drugs of how it is closing up. So this is a nice piece to have in your book. So when you're talking with someone that's concerned about the donut hole, you know here coming up in 6 more years it's going to be fairly well closed up, which is a lot of people will be happy with.
And we have these prescription cards.
There you have the prescription cards. There you go. All right. Some of you may have known some of this stuff, but I'm going to go over it because some people don't know it all. So kind of going to go over everything. The biggest thing we're going to do today is go over the benefits and the changes and what you can and can't do when it comes to our 2 main carriers that are in our area, which is Humana and Care Improvement Plus. One of the biggest things with Medicare this year, we got to be careful of it when you're out there in the Medicare, in the booths, or you're meeting with people, is you got to be careful to not use superlatives. You can't say this is the best plan. You can't say that this has the best drug coverage. You can't say this, any of those superlatives you cannot use at all. What you can say is something like, according to CMS.gov, this has the highest star ratings. You could say something like that from research on CMS.gov. You got to make sure it's saying the best. That will get you in big time trouble, or saying any kind of word such as that. One of the things, so the last thing to hand out will be Humana books. Here you go. There's a minor change. Are you gonna do well? Cool. There's some minor changes we're going to go over in filling out the applications too. So I wanted to give you one of the new applications because there are a couple things that can get you in trouble if you do not fill them out. I don't have all the new 2015 Care Improvement ones yet.
You got one?
They need one more back there.
I've got some, but I didn't have 30 to have for this meeting, so did not bring that. And the applications on the Care Improvements did not change really at all. but there were some big changes on the Humana. For those of you who did not go to any benefits meeting for Humana, I also have 25 more books coming that shows you all the plans, the kind of the Bible of Humana. They were shipped out yesterday locally, so I should have them by next Tuesday. So for those of you who did not get one of the books at a Humana meeting, I will have those for people. One of the biggest things when you start going through the application, the newest things, if you want to pull up the application, we'll kind of get this out of the way. It is very similar to last year, except for where all the plans are over in that box. They've made it a little bigger and put the contract number, the PDP, the segment, all the numbers there together. So that cheat sheet will be in your book that you get. I'll also make sure to put a copy of the cheat sheet in the document server. So when you're filling out applications, you have the exact numbers to put on there for the exact plans. So it makes it nice and easy. That's something different. End-stage renal disease. You no longer have to mark yes or no for end-stage renal disease. If they do not have end-stage renal disease, that is an automatic given that they do not have it. You don't need to mark it if they do have it. I don't know why you'd mark it if they do have it, because you should be writing it anyway. But it is an automatic given that they do not have end-stage renal disease. So that's pretty cool. And then the very back page, the other big thing that changed, all the way back. There we go. Is that there's a thing in the very top and the very back of the book that says, I acknowledge receipt of the following for the plan. You must have those initialed what was left behind. Now, I will tell you from what Humana, what they had said at the training, and whoever was there would saw it, that the summary of benefits has to be left behind. And if your client does not initial that, that will open up an automatic investigation of you why it was not left behind. Same thing with the STARS rating. You must leave a STARS rating behind. If you do not leave a STARS rating behind, again, if that's not initialed, then it will open an automatic investigation of why it wasn't initialed. So to keep yourselves out of being investigated for something, make sure that you do have those with you, you leave them behind, and they are initialed. The drug guide you do not have to leave behind. Most people won't have them. We've got probably 100 or so that came in.
Will you still have to initial it?
No, don't have them initial if you didn't leave it. What they're going to use this in the future is that with their welcome pack, if something wasn't initial, they're going to make sure it gets in the welcome pack. What they said this year, there's no way of tracking it because they don't have the system built for it yet. But they wanted to get agents in the habit of doing that, making sure leaving it behind.
Does that mean that if we leave the benefits booklet with them, they're not gonna get another one in the mail?
Does not mean that.
No, they'll get one. Next year.
They'll get two.
Yeah. So it's very important to make sure that you do have those initialed, not checked, kind of like your scope. For those of you who don't know, and I know most of you do know, but those little boxes on the scopes are not to be checked. They are to be initialed. I know there was a point, at some point, some people would put an X on them or a check. That's not what they're there for. They're there to have the client initialed that yes, we talked about a Medicare Advantage plan, or yes, we talked about a prescription drug plan, or yes, we talked about a Medicare supplement plan. This year they also put on their vision plans, and they also put on their hospital indemnity and dental plans. Yes, so you are allowed to offer other plans that are health-related plans, only health-related plans while you're doing Medicare Advantage. So the hospital indemnity and dental and vision, all those things that you are able to couple them together, which is very important to do. And to those of you who don't know how to do that, well, we can go over that at a different time. But the hospital indemnity, yes.
So, if you choose to do an electronic application for Humana, say, can you do a paper scope of the plan?
Yes,
You can do that.
you can do a paper scope.
You just have to
That was
fill
on the list of the later on the paperless application. For those of you who don't know about it, it's called MAPA, M-A-P-A. It is a paperless application. You can do that. If you have an iPad or a computer, you can get on and do that. You can have a client on the iPad actually sign with their finger. It's a pretty cool application, but you don't have to. But yes, you can do a paper scope with that. So that's pretty much all the changes on the application. Everything else is pretty much the same with that.
Scott, Humana in the training was saying that everything has to be turned in within 24 hours.
Yes,
So we have to come back that night and turn it in.
yes.
Okay.
As of right now, I'm talking to them again and see if they'll give us leeway in the 48 hours, but as of right now, it is 24. I'm working on the leeway, getting it at 48. The reason is they have 7 days to get it in, get it sent off and back from Medicare. So
Didn't they do that last year too, when we got the exception?
they did. I'm working on it. One thing at a time.
Can we still use the scopes that we have? Generic scopes, can we still use those?
You can't use generic scopes. What I will tell you, what Humana says, is that if you don't use their scope, then you must retain it for 10 years. If you use their scope, they will retain it for 10 years. So, and the reason is because it is all barcoded. So it's easier to match up to barcodes. Another big thing this year is you cannot talk about value-added services at all. Anything that's not in the benefits book, you cannot talk about this year with any of the carriers. That's a CMS mandated thing this year that you can't talk about the value-added services. Now, things like silver sneakers and stuff are not value-added services. They're considered benefits now. So when you do get your books here and you go out and start marketing, make sure you go through what is benefits. Anything that's on our charts that I gave to you, which by the way, at the bottom of those charts, it says it's only for in-house agent use only. It is not to show to a client. It is not to have in a presentation. It is only for your information of comparing if somebody has a plan, I need to see exactly what they have. That's what it's there for.
Thank you, by
No problem.
the way.
So,
Very, very valuable information.
takes a long time to do, but it's good. So anything that's on there, your dental, your vision, your extras, any of that stuff you can talk about, but it's got to be in the book. So
Does
So
Humana
example,
have
value-added
silver
services
sneakers?
that's not in the book that you can't talk about.
Right, sir.
if it's not in the actual plans, like an optional dental plan, that they did have optional dental plans they offer through Humana, we usually will help them with our dental plans anyway. But you get the scope of appointment to talk about that beforehand, or it's another scope if there's a change and you're talking about it later on. Just make sure you stay in compliant. But they don't even print the value-added services this year. Last year they had a whole section of value-added services in the back of the book. They had to take all that out. So the books are a little bit smaller this year.
Does Humana have the silver sneakers?
They do have service sneakers.
This year, this year.
Yeah, look on your chart.
I can't find it on the chart.
It's on the
I'm
very
looking.
bottom,
On the very bottom.
on the Humana page,
It's on the very bottom.
Very
the
well.
one, the Humana page.
Wanted to, but no. Okay, we're gonna go over that chart here in just a second. So you do have 24-hour send-in enrollment. Anybody
First time I've seen it.
Anybody that's not licensed with Humana or Care Improvement yet, the last day to do that, which probably shouldn't affect any of us here, is November 30th. That is the last day to do enrollment or to be certified for 2015. Okay, let's kind of look at the Humana benefits first. As you probably see, the biggest change in our HMO plan is no longer a zero premium. It is now a $15 premium. Now, just to kind of get that out there, somebody will probably say, well, if they have extra help or LAS, it'll help pay some premium. It does not. That premium is actually considered